You're listening to Military Press Wrestling with your host, Silent J, and his tag team partners, The Professor, That 90s Guy, Mr. Dedicated, and sometimes Tammy's Baby Boy. Your home for everything wrestling. It's real. It's damn real.
This is...
You're listening to Military Press Wrestling with your host, Silent J, and his tag team partners. You're listening to Military Press Wrestling with your host, Silent J, and his tag team partners. The Professor, That 90s Guy, Mr. Dedicated, and sometimes Tammy's Baby Boy. Your home for everything wrestling. It's real. It's damn real. You're listening to Military Press Wrestling. You're listening to Military Press Wrestling with your host. You're listening to Military Press Wrestling with your host, Silent J, and his tag team partners, The Professor, That 90s Guy, Mr. Dedicated, and sometimes Tammy's Baby Boy. Your home for everything wrestling. It's real. It's damn real.
What the hell was that? We are live. And
Cosby?
I don't know.
Are we playing tricks?
That was the longest intro we have ever had ever. I just got my 81.46 pounds value out of that. Holy cow. That repeated more than a John Cena championship match. Jesus, Louise. And tonight, I am the real king of the ring. Right there, as the shirt says. Except no substitutes or imitations. Sorry, Barrett. I got bad news for you. You suck as a king. All right? But anyway, long in the Red Room of Doom. I got 2 out of 3. Ain't bad.
The Professor Wrestling, coming to you live and in color, if you will. I'm the most dedicated man in the Red Room of Doom, and I got my vitamin D for the day.
That 90s guy simply saying you can't touch this, and you're going to find out today just why.
I like it. And we have a phone number now. Our phone number officially is 716-508-0406. I say for all the slow kids in the back that are chewing on their elbows and licking their ears, 716-508-0406. 716-508-0406. Speaking of 6, we have what some would say probably the 6th edition of SummerSlam coming up in Night of Champions, save for, Sting and Brock and The Undertaker being out of it. But everything else seems to feel like another SummerSlam redo. I don't know. Guys, is it just me, or is this summer been pretty much a recycling act, if you will?
SummerSlam came through, in my opinion. We, touched on last week that, of course, everything can be better and you can push a little harder. But on your point, Silent J, I do agree. I'd say Night of Champions in a couple weeks is the equivalent of Backlash after WrestleMania for about 3 years span, where you'd see the same exact card and expect people to order it again and again. What do you think, Professor?
I agree completely. I think that's exactly how it is. I mean, it's not always a bad thing, though. It worked plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it works. It's got the makings to be interesting. It's interesting because we got a shot of the 90s in Night of Champions. We got Sting and the Dudley Boys saving the day. 2 decades past is saving the future Night of Champions. I'm kind of over Dolph and Rusev. I'm over Randy Orton and And what's that guy? That guy I'm forgetting.
Mohawk man.
Yeah, that guy. And I'm over.
Years.
And I'm over the Shield versus the Wyatts. I don't care if they add 2 new guys. I'm over that. It's like stale. And let me guess, we're gonna get Ryback versus Big Show versus Miz. So, just,
Three-way dance.
yeah. Can you add? I don't know. Maybe Ron Killings. What's his name? R-Truth. Can you add R-Truth to the mix? Because he'll give you a good match. You know, I wouldn't mind him versus, I don't know, maybe Sheamus, longer than 2 minutes.
They're getting lazy again.
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder would be nice. Watch, I bet you we're going to get a match with the Bull, the little midget dude.
It's clear that the writers are getting lazy again. You know, that's all. They're just getting lazy. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah, I mean, then go figure, one of the writers spoils one of their surprises, possibly, with leaking who might be the quote unquote, new member of the Shield, which was funny. Before that picture was even leaked, and I was thinking like, third member. That's what's his name from NXT. Well, I was thinking about. I'm like, that guy would be a good fit, with Reigns and Ambrose.
Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin. And then later on that day, I saw a picture that was leaked. It was like, and it was Corbin. I'm like, go figure. I could be a writer for the WWE. So I too can have stale ideas. But
on that, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what do you guys think of that possible leak to what possibly could have been a pretty cool surprise for fans of NXT and WWE's main roster?
2 or 3 weeks ago, how we were going over TakeOver, and everyone in NXT is over. And I mean everyone. Even Eva Marie gets great heel heat. Everyone's over. So bringing up Corbin, who I'm a fan of, he can improve, but being a big guy, Vince loves you. So, of course, he would get the hook, which is fine by me. Or he'll get better.
Yeah.
Take liking to him. It did. It took me a little while to get to like Baron Corbin, but after a while, I like that kind of guy. He's a football guy. He's got the size, speed, strength.
He's got that Kane Taker to him. I mean, I'm not saying it like that, but it can build. They just gotta do it right.
Yeah,
we'll see. Haha.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you know what? He would be the perfect version of 911. Of
Yeah.
you just go in. His matches have only been literally seconds long, most of the time. Not like a Rusev squash match. This was more of like just kick your ass real quick.
The crowd's counting down.
Yeah,
seriously.
I mean, that would have that is NXT's version of 911 or 911, and they could do something, really good in the main roster like that. I think if they had managers, I think he needs a manager. And I'd hate to say, I wouldn't say put him with Paul Lee, just to rekindle, from the past. But how good would he be with a manager? With like hell, even like like a valet with them. I think that would be cool. Like, Summer Rae, sick and tired of getting tossed around by guys. He just gets a guy to kick everybody's ass. I think that would be pretty good. Kind of like a Sherry.
We gotta stop coming up with good ideas, because once they start watching us, all the writers are gonna take our ideas. We're gonna have to try to assume we're not gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know if he heard me.
Stuff's cutting out, guys. Your sound a little choppy.
Oh,
But what was I gonna say? Speaking of NXT, quick, did you see the new racist Instagram, Twitter?
I didn't until you mentioned it to me.
That was a
I didn't even know her. What's up with these NXT stars, the dark match NXT people, thinking that they can say and do whatever they want? Now, on her point, I'll give her a valid point. People are digging back now, which they said last week. Stephanie released saying we're going to start looking at everyone's social media, dating back. That's really wrong, but it goes back to what we've always been told, even since you were 16, which, in our generation now, it's been since MySpace. Don't put anything up. And, if you go back to my MySpace when I was 16, you'll probably find something pretty bad, I'll be honest with you.
You know what?
What do you think?
MySpace from when you were 16 is going to be filled with wrestling, just like your Instagram is now. So some things never change there.
My best friend messaged me. He changed my password when I was 16, and he put Booker T as my background and put Booker T's music up. It was great.
The funny thing is,
It's awesome.
I like that. We should have a Booker T night. We should all dress up as Booker T and wear blackface, huh? Right? Because that's not going to get us in trouble.
As long as I can do Gold Dust, I'm in.
I want you to do the Gold Dust with Luna per our conversation before the show. I want you to have the crazy Luna.
How are you doing tonight? Luna. Luna. Can I get the voice?
No, I think
Luna.
it should be Luna because she was always half there.
She's hot in ECW. Vince took away all her sexuality. I didn't like that.
Girl, did you say Luna
The
was
fact that before the show we talked about how scared I was of her. I was 7 years old. She's screaming,
now you wish you could get a girl to scream like that. But so what I want to say is it looks like the professor is playing whack-a-mole over there right now. Professor,
I just had a one-handed snag on the spottle, man.
Oh, nice.
Sammy Watkins style.
Stole my water?
What do you think of the culture of digging back into wrestlers or prospective wrestlers past and vetting them? Did they do a better job, or should they make a splash and fire them when they find some stuff from the past?
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. I mean, why do you want anyone that has anything negative like that coming into your company? You're supposed to, they want to have this, clean
Family.
Yeah, absolutely. Family-friendly deal. And, somebody might find that someday and hey, what kind of example does that set for a 13-year-old? It goes back to why they can't put China in the Hall of Fame. Because some 8-year-old kid's going to look up China and find porn. I mean, honestly.
That would be the first thing, man.
And nobody wants to see the kind of porn I saw what she did.
Well, I mean, Mr. Dedicated, that might be right up his alley.
Let me just say, it turned me off from Beef on Weck for a while.
Ooh, Arby's.
They even included the pickle.
China. That's what they're calling Xbox now, the pickle?
Pickle. But anyway, yeah, I think, you know what? I think anybody that, especially whatever, I don't even know what this girl's
I had to look up her name as well, Silent J. I can't pronounce that. Noof Al-Aribi.
Yeah, I don't even know who she is. But yeah, she had some pretty let me just say she did her best Hulk Hogan impression in these texts. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean.
It's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, going back on your point quick, I do agree with the social media stuff. And since Stephanie now laid down the law, I think it's the WWE's job responsibility as the wrestlers to say they're going to give you a warning. Hey, go look back on your accounts. And if something appropriate's there, get rid of it. If we find it, you're in trouble. Because if someone else finds it, you're fired. And I mean, that's business.
Yeah. Very true.
Brown.
I
can't put anything down, you know.
I was gonna say, what do you guys think if it's like a big star? I mean, it's cool now they're getting rid of people we don't know, but what about if this was, you know, I mean, they can get rid of legends. How do you think it would affect the product if this was like a Roman Reigns or a Seth Rollins or, you know, Randy Orton or John Cena? Do you think the company could rebound really quick if it was like one of their top stars? Like years back, a top star would leave. Yeah, whatever. You know, we always got John Cena, or we always got, you know, Austin or The Rock. What, like now with it, kind of The Rocker being so shaky with this, it seems like a transition. What about if it was one of their top 3 or 4 guys now? This happening to?
Well, you know, I'm sure it's a lot easier to with John Cena situation.
I'm thinking the same exact thing. If it was Cena, Vince would snuck at him in that, and he'd throw it under the rug quicker than you could say, did that just happen? Oh, my God!
Just like the NFL did with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, people get special privilege in life, as in...
Leave that innocent boy alone.
Yeah.
Leave that innocent boy.
I don't know what's on here.
Tom Brady never did it.
Everybody's Wi-Fi off? We're bad. We're in the middle show.
Yeah. I'm doing.
Yeah, but we'll, you know, Cena, probably Randy.
It was my bad.
Thank you, Joe. They would get thrown on the rug. And, they get the rug thrown on the RP. They'd be fine.
You know what the
Anybody
funny?
under? Nah.
I could see Randy Orton doing something like that. It's just I don't know, and he doesn't lend you to believe that he's a racist or sexist or anything like that. But I can really see Randy Orton having something like that. I could see him dropping an M-bomb on somebody. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's from St. Louis. I don't know.
I mean, we watched what Randy did. I really had a time period in my head from like 07 to 09 where I thought Randy was going to get legitimately fired eventually because he just didn't care and he knew they wouldn't fire him. And he was right. And he did eventually grow up and mature into the man we know today. He's not going to do anything too stupid. But I really thought when he was young, you know.
Remember when he put his leg through the table, when he went to do a spot with, I think, like Kane or The Undertaker or something, he went through the table and he did this weird, he shook his finger like Dusty Rhodes and he yelled, you know, he swore a few times and he just kind of like laughed it off. That was really, it struck me as really weird. Like his reaction to like getting hurt like that. He was supposed to.
I want to know what that
yeah,
is so I can watch that.
I want to see that shit.
Seriously, I want to go back and watch that. What match is that?
I don't know. There's
Probably got pissed.
Yeah, there was something like he went to do like an arcade. There was a spot he was supposed to do on the announce table, and his leg went through where the monitor was, and you could. It looked like it hurt. It looked like it hurt, and he did this weird like no, and he like backed up into the apron, and he just did this weird. I don't know. To me, it seemed like that dude at that time, at that moment, he was on angel dust or something like that. He was just like, that's not the reaction you have. You slam your fist, you know, screaming an explicitive or something like that, or really lay the next punch into the guy you're fighting. But he did this really weird thing. You go back and watch it. It's funny. It's one of those quirky little wrestling moments. It pops up every once in a while. You could go back and watch it. It's like, that's kind of funny, you know. But moving away from that, get away from Raw.
Yeah.
I watched it last night, man, and it did nothing for me. Even you know what did it for me? Hold on, you know what did it for me? And listen, I gotta say it every week because he's gonna get I told you so, deservingly so. But the professor, he told me so. The New Day made Raw with that stupid trombone, and it just, man, I tell you what, I am all in with the New Day. Love them, absolutely love them. I hope they keep the belts. I hope they go over on the Dudleys.
Jumping on the bandwagon.
Hey, I've been down since day one.
Same.
You're
Day.
And
But,
even the crowd, the crowd's not saying New Day sucks anymore. Half the crowd's saying New Day rocks, which is, I think it's that.
Yeah.
And they're going up against the Dudleys. I mean, which badass, awesome, amazing tag team.
I've known from the moment that I heard that they were going to put these guys together that this was going to work. I knew that it was going to work. There's no way around it. Each one has great talent in their own way. Big E being the powerhouse, Xavier Woods is doing his thing as the mouthpiece, might I add, and you know that kind of that side guy that grabs your attention. Yep. And Kofi Kingston does his thing. They all just work great together.
And Kofi does it's like whether Michael Hayes wants to hear it or not, this is like the live version of the Freebirds. I'm sure he would have a couple choice Hogan awards right now.
It's true though. It is true. I didn't even think about it until you just said that. That is.
Bam Bam.
I mean,
Bam Bam Gordy is Big E. Garvin, that weird one was the guy that did a lot of the wrestling. Think they could beat him up, and like Kofi Kingston. Everybody thinks he could beat up Kofi Kingston. He's going to get a couple moves on him, but as you watch these matches, Kofi's being worked on. Big E comes in, makes the move. Big move. But then you have Xavier Woods, who is like a perfect example of Michael Hayes. He'll wrestle when he needs to. Get a couple moves in. Michael Hayes, let's just really look back and think about it. Michael Hayes was never in a match that really sticks out where it's like, damn, Michael Hayes worked his ass off. And I grew up watching CCW because of satellite TV. I don't ever remember a match moment with Michael P.S. Hayes. I remember Michael P.S. Hayes talking and walking and singing really shitty 80s wrestling music. And that's the thing. Xavier Woods, what do you think of him? I don't really know what he does wrestling-wise, but he's funny as hell, and he could talk, and he gets the crowd going. That's like the perfect the New Day of the Freebirds. And I love it. I want to get a New Day t-shirt. And I go so far back as to the first time I saw them come out. I'm like, this is horrible. This is the death knell of all three of these guys. And God damn, the professor is right. And I was wrong. And you can take that to the grave. I do not freely admit when I'm wrong, but man, I'm all in. I am a fan of the professor because of the New Day. Xavier Woods made me a professor fan.
I think we're enough Freebirds.
Do you guys remember when they started to add members of the Freebirds when they had Bad Street in a mask? You remember the guy?
I was in diapers, Jay.
You know what? Shut up, you ugly half Sheamus.
Wow.
I didn't.
Hey.
Whatever. You know what? The Irish guy with red hair and a Hogan shirt. Oh, you got a couple M-bombs brewing in you every day.
And I got the mohawk going too. Come on here.
Just go down just go down to Casanova Park and just drop some N bombs while you're.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll be here next Wednesday. But
Yeah. I
tell
gotta
me-
say
tell
the
me
highlight.
about it.
That was the highlight of Raw, in my opinion. And 90s guy, Sean, you were gonna bring up Sting. What do you think of Sting? I just it's whatever. What do you think?
I agree with you to the point that we know he's not going to wrestle. We know he's there to plug the match, which he is doing. That's something Brock or Rock or part-timers won't at least make an appearance, cameo every week. So they are working out the storyline. So it is. I'm interested because it's funny. It's entertaining to the point that, Rollins is flustered and his head's starting to blow up. You got Cena. I like where it's going. I don't think it's repetitive. I like it. I like where the triangle is going. It's like the old school. You don't see the triangles anymore. I know you can relate to that more because you'd see your double main event in the Attitude Era, and all four were intertwined with each other.
Are you being ageist right now? Are you being ageist?
I couldn't if I tried.
Yeah. The new Irishman. He's not racist. He's ageist now. Awesome. Great.
I'm going for Bernie.
Well, if I could turn to stick to the PC professor, could you say something without slamming somebody's age or race or gender or anything like that, like the guy next to you? You got Michael P.S. Hogan over there. So
Brother.
Sheamus P.S. Hogan.
it's
I've been called worse. Well, let me think about that.
like if Shane got it on with El Torito. That's what you got right there next to you. It's like the redheaded Danny DeVito from Twins.
Should I get mad? I'm getting more heat than freaking Mr. Diecade.
Because you blend into the wall. All I see, it's like you're like somebody in front of a green screen. All I see is a floating face.
Maybe the red on red in the red room wasn't such a good idea tonight.
No, not at all. I got to turn the contrast down because of you. Just so you blend in, the professor over there is going to have a yellow hue. He's going to look like he has jaundice, just so you could fit in. So great. There. I got the jaundice professor and the floating head right now. If anybody's watching this, I'm talking to a face, and it's just like his hairline cuts into the wall. Really good. Really nice. Nice. Maybe you know what? Maybe next week you could just wear a red bandana and just look like eyes and a nose. Maybe growing a goatee to look like cheeks and cheeks and eyeballs. There you go.
Right there.
Anyway, Professor, before I was rudely interrupted by the anorexic Kool-Aid man over there, what do you think about Sting? The build-up, I think it lends itself a lot to the improvement of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is basically building an angle by himself, which he's pulling the Undertaker's opponent, leading up to WrestleMania the last few years, where it's like a couple videos, but it's that guy. And what do you think? What do you think what's your feedback on Sting, the angle, and Seth Rollins as a whole?
I think it shows that they are truly and have truly put a lot of faith into Seth Rollins to carry a storyline out by himself.
Carry the company?
Yeah, carry the company at that, honestly. Shit, yeah, if you want to be real about that. But, I mean, and he's improved so much. I mean, if you go back, I've said here on the show that his mic skills were not good when he was first champion because I felt it was so, scripted. But he's definitely loosened up. Yeah, but, he's definitely loosened up, and he's doing a great job. And they only choose the best to carry a storyline by themselves. So
if he's proven anything this year on that, he's proven that he is without a doubt one of the top 5 professional wrestlers in the company, maybe we could argue in the business.
In the world, yeah. Shit, he's doing his thing.
You're not going to get a bad Seth Rollins match when it comes to game time. If you want to go through the year,
I tell you what,
WrestleMania.
you know what he's starting to remind me of, and before the fans out there, starting to remind me of would agree, AJ Styles. AJ Styles, he never really needed to lend himself to his microphone skills. A lot of good in-ring stuff. AJ Styles has a great look in the ring in terms of how he dresses, how he looks, how he acts, and I really do think that Seth Rollins could be WWE's version of an AJ Styles. So where AJ now is, he's doing more stuff on the mic in the Bullet Club, where you see more of a personality out of him. Trust me, it's a bit of a stretch, but I think Seth could be the version, because if you look at Seth's work in the independents, that was awesome in Ring of Honor. Go back to his ROH stuff. He was awesome. So he has that ability. I just think it's just a matter of time before Seth Rollins becomes like, a megastar. Instead of just, he's a big star now, but I think in time he'll be a megastar. What do you guys think?
He kind of reminds me of a budding. I was trying to look for this all week in my head, and I don't want to say Michaels, because I think Michaels in '96 was more over than he is now to a degree. I kind of want to ask you, Silent J. Does he kind of remind you of Bret Hart's first title run?
No.
That's kind of what I.
Oh God.
No. Over there.
No, Bret Hart. No, I'm sorry. Bret Hart was never a
first reign.
The dude, when I liked Bret Hart, when he was in the Hart Foundation with Jimmy Hart, and when he was in the Hart family stable. That's
his when he was running. Yep. But in that middle time, no.
No.
I mean,
I you know what? I watching him as the champ would be like one more reason why I'd rather watch paint dry.
Wow.
In a match, it's different. In a match, different. Watching Bret Hart in a match,
awesome.
Man.
But out of the ring, it's just he didn't do it for me in his first run as champion. To me, nothing long lasting.
One of the most,
this is where I'm
not
long lasting,
technically sound professional wrestlers of all time, man. Come on.
Oh, he's going. Tell him.
Okay, who would you rather watch as a cruiserweight champion, Dean Malenko or Chris Jericho?
Dean Malenko, because I'm a purist.
Shut up, douche.
Me personally, when I was watching WCW as a kid, who did I like more? Dean Malenko.
Wow.
Like Cinco.
It's a room of pure. I'm sorry.
I mean, I liked watching. Trust me, I loved watching Dean Malenko matches, just like I loved watching Bret Hart matches. I just didn't like watching.
You got to remember, I grew up liking the shorter guys like Dean Malenko, like Taz. Shit, my favorite quarterback was Doug Flutie. I mean,
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I mean, if I'm getting the mic, but the ring, Dean Malenko, but you can't take Chris's ring abilities away either.
No, not at all.
I see what your argument with Bret and Seth Rollins is here. I can't figure out who to compare it to.
Yeah, I think as a champ, you know what this is? I think to me, this Seth Rollins run is to me a lot like when Shawn Michaels broke away from the Rockers. It lends a lot because it's like you see, it's like you almost got it, you're almost there, you're almost. It's like having sex with a condom on. It's just like you're almost there the whole time, but nothing happens. It's just like
bang.
You just want to take it off and see what you could really do. But So, but
Oh.
I mean, I'm just waiting for finally with Shawn Michaels. It was finally what really clicked with me with no pun intended. What really clicked with me with Shawn Michaels was that run with Diesel, and post Diesel. Then he started to really get that attitude, and then another fucking pun, and then went into DX. I didn't mean to use the click in attitude in the same thing. And
You got another video? Can you make it 3 for 3?
NW, no way. All right, out. There you go. I added a stable and a pay-per-view right there. But but I just say it's like with Seth, I really think his turning point is going to be however this impending feud with Triple H is going to be. I really think Triple H is going to be what gets him over the hump.
Triple H is going to really let him shine. You know, when you put him in the ring with the great, that's when it shows that he's legit. You know, he's going to get in the ring with Triple H possibly. That's big time.
And this is getting a lot of press. Like, I'm actually starting to believe it's really going to happen at WrestleMania. Everyone's talking about it.
It should.
You know?
That's where it should be right there. It should be the end of Triple H's in-ring career. It should be.
It should be.
It's no. Not until we get that final Rock and Triple H.
He'll do
match.
5 more WrestleMania matches in the next 5 years.
Yeah, but
It's
always that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know if the professor and I are ever going to see eye to eye on anything, because I just feel no matter what I say now, he's just going to look at me with that disdain. Triple H matches in WrestleMania now are becoming you know it's going to happen. You know, it's becoming very repetitive, almost to the point of like the end of Ric Flair's career, or the tail end of The Undertaker pre-streak beat matches. Like, you almost knew what was going to happen. It's just, I love Triple H. I thought he had a great career. I was a huge Triple H mark, you know, for years. When he came back, when he returned from that quad injury to MSG, I think I almost blew the roof off my own house when he returned. I
remember that night like it was yesterday, man.
Same here, bro.
I was playing GTA 3 up until the start of Raw. Watch Raw, and it was just like, yeah. So that was huge. So I love Triple H, but it's like his stuff's becoming repetitive. I would love to see his in-ring career end against Seth Rollins, and then maybe make a 1 or 2 I'm coming out of retirement to build up to a bigger. Maybe let him take a year off, 2 years off of just being in the suit, nothing at all, and then do a huge I'm coming out of retirement to face The Rock. You know, and I think that would be big. I would like that.
I personally believe that they're building that for this year. You know, you remember
I do
WrestleMania?
too. I do too.
Didn't they have another run-in over the last couple months on Raw, I think? But, yeah, I think they're building that for this year.
I think it should be another year out. I really think if they slowly just add every 4 or 5 months, have a little Triple H Rock something.
Yep.
And just
See, the thing is, though, they're thinking they want to sell tickets. Is it going to be Seth Rollins and Triple H, or is it going to be The Rock and Triple H?
Oh.
Which one's going to break records?
I'd rather have Seth in the main event, too.
But which one's going to break records? You know?
yeah, you know,
I've been doing 2000.
well then here's the thing: if they pull out every card to fill up.
The Rock is a superstar. The Rock is a Hollywood
He's a
star.
Hollywood
The Rock is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. This isn't 2000. This is bigger. This is going to be much, much bigger than that.
This was all Vince's plan. I'm going to send Rock to Hollywood. He's going to come back, and everyone will know him as the actor, and all the actors in the Hollywood scene will come and watch wrestling. Genius.
You know what? You're right, 90s guy. They're gonna hire us soon. I, I would like. I've stated before. I like that slow burn, that slow build up. Give me another year and a half, because here's the thing: if they pull out every stop, if they pull out the last Austin match, if they pull out Rock versus Triple H, if they pull out the Undertaker's final match in his home state at WrestleMania, if they pull out all these stops to fill up, AT&T Stadium, what are they going to do the following year? I just think you got to have something. I mean,
well, that's why I think they won't do Austin this year, even though they should, because it's in Texas.
yeah, that's
Spread
the
out your.
problem. There's so many guys
Spread
from
out-
Texas. It just makes sense to have it all happen in Texas. What? You know what I did hear at 90s guy? What do you think? I heard that next year's WrestleMania, not next year, not the next WrestleMania, the one after Dallas is going to be in Minneapolis at their new stadium. That's where Brock Lesnar's billed as a Minnesota guy, Minneapolis guy, went to school at U of M. Do you think that has any? I mean, because it's already been sort of leaked that that's where WrestleMania is supposed to be after Dallas, is in Minneapolis at their new stadium. You think that is already like there's going to be something huge with Brock Lesnar in a year and a half from now?
Well, first off, that's awesome because that's the first I know of Minnesota, which means we'll all be taking a road trip. Secondary.
I've been to. I lived out there during WrestleMania season. Guess what? It's still 10 below out. I ain't going there. Nope.
My father went to Super Bowl 26, Vikings, Redskins, Bills, and said ice skates in the Super Bowl do not mix.
Yeah.
But on the point, to not build, I think they're going to try to build on the home area of where WrestleMania is around one of the biggest superstars, like Rock did Miami.
Well, what they usually do is they usually go to wherever the Super Bowl is. I realize that that's the pattern.
Yeah, I
Wherever
agree.
the Super Bowl is, or to break the attendance record of a brand new place like San Fran, new stadium. They're going to break the attendance record, so they have that. Minnesota, the Vikings' new stadium that's being built, they're going to have that. The Super Bowl was in Dallas. Now they're going to have it at Dallas. I think they're just looking some weird, like Vince McMahon, I got a bigger D sort of thing than the guy next to me at the stall. Okay, it's like, all right, you got the Super Bowl, but I got the attendance record. What matters now? Yeah, I'm sorry, Vince. I'm still going with I don't care how many people were at a wrestling match. I don't care about the attendance. But in Vince's head, that's what matters. That's great because that makes great WrestleManias. I'm gonna hate to see when they have the Super Bowl. WrestleMania in Des Moines, Iowa, and they're gonna build around the biggest Seth Rollins match ever in front of the Dubuque County.
The corn in a cornfield.
Yeah, he's not gonna win the championship belt. He's gonna win a blue ribbon, because. But going into championship matches, because the professor and I talked about this leading into Night of Champions. I don't care. A real quick rundown. I think the New Day is going to win. I think Ryback's going to keep the belt. I think somehow Charlotte's going to win. I don't know. I could be wrong. And I think Sting is going to win the U.S. title. I don't know.
It's never been seen before, and I love new things, and I'm excited.
The only reason why I say Sting winning the U.S. title, which I don't even know if that's a stipulation, but that's the WCW belt. I don't know. I think they're going to play it up somehow, and I don't think Sheamus is going to be able to cash in. he's gonna trip or something over his beard. His beard's gonna get tangled up in the rope, and I'm gonna be able to catch him.
We unfortunately have to keep bringing it up every show probably for the next months because unfortunately it's going to happen. And I want everybody to be mentally prepared for it because he's going to be the champion, one champion in the whole company. And
it's going to be
not
awful.
happy
and
about it.
yeah, I'm not happy about it at all.
So
I hope it doesn't happen.
I hope he loses that.
I probably won't watch Raw.
Not everybody that wins the briefcase becomes champion.
Damien.
So hopefully that's this case.
Damien's now. Should have. Would have paid to see that.
They screwed Sandow.
I sure as shit don't want to see Sting and Sheamus. So
Oh,
What if Sting wins the belt?
it would be.
You know, it wouldn't bother me.
That would.
it doesn't bother. If Sting were to win the belt, I wouldn't be bothered.
Maybe a month or two. Nothing crazy. Like I wouldn't want to take it to Rumble or Mania, but something small. You know, just to say he did it. Kind of like Goldberg 03.
Yeah.
Just that run.
Now going away from that, what do you guys think? 'Cause we're talking about champions, United Champions, championship match. What's a belt that you guys want to see more than anything? What's the one belt you guys miss more than anything? It could be. It doesn't matter what the federation, weight class. It doesn't matter at all. What's the one belt you'd love to see somehow nowadays?
What?
The FTW Heavyweight Championship.
What?
You can call this whatever you want. You can call this.
You don't come on, Mr. ECW himself, Silent J doesn't remember the FTW Heavyweight Championship.
I just had a brain fart. I know exactly what you're talking about. Taz.
Yeah.
No rules, no limit. Taz's rules.
Can't beat me.
There are no rules. Beat me if you can, survive if I let you.
Huh. I like that. I like that one. 90s. What about you, my friend?
If I had to bring back a title, trick question. I would bring back the X Division, and I would change it back to the original X Division way it was, where it was presented as a cruiserweight combination when I was the hottest thing in professional wrestling. The last 5-star match in America is now 10 years ago. 10 years this month, I think, was Chris Daniels, AJ, and Samoa Joe, the unbreakable triple threat match for the X Division title. So I'd bring back
the Kurt Angle Samoa Joe match happened after that.
5 stars.
It was a 5-star match.
So look, all right, we got a bet.
It was a 4
We'll
point.
figure this out.
It was a 4 point.
I think it's 5. I know.
I
Wes,
promise you.
it was. Hey, people come out.
Do we go?
And
Are we
say-
going off of Meltzer reports?
Yeah, I go off Meltzer. So I go off the King. Sorry. So people come out and say, "Oh, that was a 5-star match. It had to be." No, it might have been 4.5. 5-star doesn't just happen. There's one 5-star every decade in America. Yet this decade still doesn't have one yet. I wonder why.
Seth Rollins
But,
just
uh,
not there yet.
Hey, he's got a goal to shoot for. If since I'm such a purist, if I had a goal to shoot for, I would want a 5-star match. I'm that, can't really find the word. I guess I'm that egotistical. I'd love a 5-star match. It's just something you want on your resume.
I think if there's anybody before, I thought it was going to be like Dolph Ziggler or Daniel Bryan or like CM Punk, stuff like that. I really think it'd be Seth Rollins because he's shown he can fight. He can go up against bigger guys, smaller guys, tag team. You put him in any real situation, it seems he can have a good match. The only thing I haven't really seen him have matches with are like the big, monsters. Yeah, like 7-foot guys, the big, tall, giant dudes. That's the only thing we haven't seen out of Seth Rollins yet. So that's the only thing. But like I said, tag team, muscle bound guys. technical guys, high flyers. You can work with all of them. I'd like to see what he can do against like an Undertaker, somebody just huge. Not this
So-
version, not this version of Kane, by the way.
Silent J, what would your title be if you could bring back the title?
Oh boy. You know what? I would bring back the. Oh man, there's so many. I would.
Smoky Mountain?
My first instinct would say the European title because it had so many really good matches. I would also say like the WCW Cruiserweight title because it also had so many really good matches. But what I'm going to say is the NWA television title. That's what I'm
It was the Mecca. It was when the secondary title was what wrestling still should be, what they're trying to do right now again, which I appreciate what they're trying to do. This was your childhood, not mine, but I grew up I'm a big 80s NWA fan. So this is the Mecca. This is the belt. This is what you work for to get to the next level.
Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, I think Barry Windham. There's a lot of guys, not a lot of guys that held the NWA, but a lot of good, the quality of individuals that held it was good. Tully Blanchard, you're talking about like original Horseman. I mean, you got a guy next to you that lives, eats, breathes, and dies Horseman. So the original, the first version of Tully in the Horseman was Tully Blanchard with the NWA TV title. That's the title I like, and that's the guy that I would like to see. Somebody like that where it's, Tully Blanchard wasn't going to go up against the heavyweight champion or the big monster of that day, but he was going to put on a great match with, a mix of veterans and a mix of new guys, and he was going to do his thing. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
I'm wrong. I am wrong, but it ain't Angle. There has been one more 5-star match since 2005, and it was CM Punk Cena Money in the Bank 11. So I am wrong in that fact that we have had a 5-star match last decade.
Really, that was a 5-star match?
I agree.
same.
I agree. No, go back and watch it.
I love
agree.
the match. It's not a purist 5-star. It's a whole shebang 5-star.
I'm not gonna.
So to me,
Chicago.
Yeah, no, I
Good
can't.
stories.
I can't knock it at all. You know what? That was a good build-up, good run-ins in the match. Yeah, no, that was good. I can't really argue that. That's deserving. I think everybody involved played their role perfectly. Except for Alberto Del Rio, because I like that guy. He did not deserve to get kicked in the head like that.
No, he did not.
And then he didn't deserve to be called a wetback in the WWE cafeteria and then get fired because of it. So,
hey, remember, be a hero. Bullying is wrong.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Now, what's the one champion you would love to see wrestle now? Like any wrestler, anytime. It could be Ric Flair, 1985. It could be Undertaker, 2002. Austin, 98. One guy or one girl or one tag team, one champion that you would love to see. It could even be like Triple H of like 8 years ago.
I got one better. How about I do this? I would want to see Austin 98 against Austin is the night in 98. Yeah, his time, going in against Punk in 11.
Woo! Stop. It's too much. I can't handle it.
That would have been nice. I would have loved that.
Damn.
Because
I
yeah, you know what would have been perfect too, with Austin coming out like that. You know, in his way, his gimmick, and then CM Punk coming out afterwards, mimicking him and mocking him, coming out in a CM Punk vest or a 316 Chicago vest. I could see CM Punk doing something like that. I think that would have been awesome.
Agreed. If I watch anybody from any time period from a year, it would be Mr. Rob Van Dam, 1998, the beginning of his prime, his first solid run where he blew up and introduced himself to the world, wrestling some of the best talent in the world, of Sabu, Scotty Riggs, Bam Bam Bigelow, Tommy Dreamer, and the new effing show, Jerry Lynn. Do I smell Segway? Woo!
No, you don't smell Segway because I didn't take my choice with Jerry Lynn stuff.
Really? Get out of here.
Yeah, I will. Show's over. I would say
I thought you were going to do the Patriot 97.
wasn't world heavyweight champions, right?
Sorry.
Don't be fucking with Del Wilkes. All right, I'll 7
I'm a fan.
You know what I would have liked to have seen? I think it was 91. I think they had the straps in 90 or 91. I'm just looking at tag teams. You have all these tag teams now. I would have liked to have seen Demolition, the 3-man Demolition tag team, when they had the straps. Now, just because I think the one thing the WWE tag team is really missing is that super destructive force. And I didn't want to go like cliche with the Road Warriors or stuff like that. I just mean because there were 3 members of Demolition and they had Mr. Fuji and they had the belts. I would have liked to have seen that mix in WWE currently with their tag team division now.
Yeah.
Now, real quick before we go to the history mark, one person that you think got cheated out of a heavyweight title, the one name that should have carried the title, whether WWF, WCW, NWA, doesn't matter. What wrestler was screwed out of being able to carry the heavyweight title and would have done well with it?
Kane, 2004. The biggest heel in the business at the time. That Kane can be argued as one of the greatest heel periods ever in the history of professional wrestling. You set JR on fire. You threw Shane McMahon off a 50-foot building. You threw Shane McMahon through an ambulance. You got Lita pregnant and you killed the kid.
You'd also tombstone Linda McMahon.
The list is unbelievable.
Electrocuted Shane McMahon's testicles.
Oh my God, it's an unbelievable run, and I feel like Kane should have got a 2. I'm not asking Triple H's time, but I think Kane should have got a 2 or 3 month run. We could have had Kane versus H, a heel on heel, solid. But that's mine. Mine's Kane 0304.
See, that's the thing. I can't even talk about that because I wasn't here. I missed all of that.
You gotta seriously. Oh my God! We just gave you our recommendation of the week for you. You need to look up
Kane.
Look up Kane sets JR on fire and start clicking on videos from there.
I didn't even know he set him on fire.
Okay,
wow.
It's so cool. Oh my God, dude! Yeah.
Listen, I was setting a rack on fire, all right?
Steve Austin's in the ring. Kane, put the gasoline down, you big dumb son of a bitch.
It's great. It's good, man.
Yeah, I missed the
Oh, my God. You're in for a treat. You got to look up when Shane McMahon damn near kills Kane. He throws Kane in a limo and
That used to be starting Raw.
yeah, it was the start of Raw. You got to look that up.
Check that.
Look up Kane died. Seriously.
That year and a half period, there's a list of 10 to 15 super heel, terrible things done by one man. Doesn't get enough credit at all. I know Mr. Dedicated is big on Kane 0304 as am I. It's just the credit is not there. It should have been more credit.
I haven't seen him smile this much since he realized that Mr. Dedicated wouldn't be here for the show. Now, what's your choice? What's the person you wanted to see?
Definitely Booker T 03, WrestleMania 19.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
He should have been the champion, and Triple H buried him at WrestleMania.
Killed him.
There's no doubt about it. Booker T was over. He was red hot.
He beat The Rock in a Royal Rumble to get to H.
And the pop was.
And H buried him.
The pop was insane.
We've discussed it too many times.
Yeah.
Good recommendation.
I missed that too. My recommendation would be, I'm trying to get the exact year because I want to do this the right way, but the individual that I'm picking is one. I wanted to say Kurt Hennig. I wanted to say Razor Ramon. I'm not going with any of that though because, and I'm going to go with Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase was the biggest heel. He had
I cannot I can't knock that.
Bought his own human being. He had his own human. He bought Andre the Giant. He bought Virgil and his dinghy. That's two right there. And he was the biggest. And you think about it, I never really watched I never saw a whole lot of wrestling outside of wrestling for a certain time. After the whole Rock and Wrestling and MTV thing, you just didn't see a whole lot of wrestlers outside of wrestling. Then all of a sudden, here's Ted DiBiase on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with that old guy who did the show. But Ted DiBiase was on Entertainment Tonight. Ted DiBiase was all over TV because people still didn't know if it was polyester or 100% cotton. We didn't know if it was a real shirt or not. Okay, but everybody liked the way it looked, and Ted DiBiase to me was the perfect villain. He was the epitome of the '80s. There's the backlash at the end of the '80s on the extravagant lifestyle. Martin Leach on Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous, and the $1 Million Man. You got what was it? Wall Street with Michael Douglas. He had a cell phone on the beach.
Caviar wishes, champagne dreams.
Yes. You got Michael Douglas's character. He's talking on a cell phone in a movie. I'm like, what the hell is this cell phone? Why is he outside on a phone? I tried to do that with a cordless phone, and they couldn't get past the patio. So the $1 Million Man was the personification of everything that was wrong with the 80s, and that dude played it up perfect. And what he really needed was a big-ass gold belt. Come on, you're the richest man in wrestling. You don't have a big-ass gold belt?
He went out and he made his big-ass gold belt. Because how come we wouldn't give it to him?
And that was bullshit. Then Virgil and his donger took it from him. That's wrong.
You know what? He even played an awesome role after the fact he was done wrestling. Yeah. Even in WCW, he was awesome as a manager.
Yeah, I think he would have. I just think he would have been a great champ, especially at that time. They're leaning away from Hogan for just a little bit. $1 Million Man with the belt versus the Macho Man would have been, I think, off the wall if the $1 Million Man would have been able to keep crap. But anyway, enough of champions. Well, no, it's not enough of champions because we have to give somebody the title of the winner of the History Mark of the Week.
Can you say Heath? There's a Dedicated. I'm catching you. This is my 4th win in 6 weeks. Jerry F. and Lynn, the new F and show, will come in first place on our ECW favorite wrestler. Taz would come in second, and Mike Awesome would come in third, and Raven fourth.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm not saying anything. Go ahead. It's all you.
I think Raven got screwed, and I am defending you. It was a really close race because we got Taz, we got Raven, we got Mike Awesome. It was going to be a close race anyway. And
you embarrassed yourself by even putting that name with our names.
And that's true, but from a purist standpoint, Jerry Lynn was one of the top professional wrestlers from 98 to 2001.
I have a few things.
Purist.
Before I get into the few things that I like about Jerry Lynn, I'd like to go in and just say, watch a Taz promo, and you're caught up with what he's saying, and you're sucked in because he actually is entertaining in some way, shape, or form. Watch a Raven promo, and you're really sucked in.
The best, maybe.
Mike Awesome didn't talk, but I mean, there's really not much that needs to be said about Mike Awesome.
Watch a Mike Awesome.
Yeah. So then go back and watch Jerry Lynn promo. And every time, and I mean every single time I watch a Jerry Lynn promo, at the end he says, Jerry Lynn. And I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? You sound like a jackass. You sound like a dying dog. It's not like...
You know, his promos reminded me of the early Pitbull promos where it's like, come on, guys, why are you doing that same old thing? This is something new here. You know? It's just like when you ask, cutting edge tag team promos at the time. What are you going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to make you feel a certain way. We're going to, like, you think of a Raven promo. I'm going to put you into my mind. I'm going to make you feel my pain within my mind. Or Taz. How am I going to make you feel? I'm going to make you feel like I've made everybody else feel. You're going to sit here. You're going to underestimate me. You're not going to survive. But then here's a Jerry Lynn promo. How am I going to make you feel? I'm going to kick your butt. Yeah, I'm Jerry Lynn. I'm going to kick your butt. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to body slam you. And then when I'm done body slamming you, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to body slam you again. And then I'm going to go, yay. And I'm Jerry Lynn. It just reminded me of, like, Jerry Lynn was the epitome of, he was like a shitty movie rental you got. He was like, if there was porn, you know what he was? He was softcore. It was just like, okay, it was good. I saw side boobs. That's it.
Can I hear the good, Professor?
I like good. I could give you the good. Go back and watch any Jerry Lynn and RVD matches, and go back and watch any Jerry Lynn and Just Incredible matches.
99, 2000.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to see some really, really amazing pro wrestling, real clean, crisp, not too many botches, and, everything. It's fast paced. It's technical. It's high flying. It's high impact action. It's fun. It's entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah. And
so I could give that to Jerry Lynn.
What I'll give him is he always had a good match, no matter who the opponent was. Whether he wrestled RVD or he wrestled Just Incredible, it was going to be one of the higher end matches on the card. So, and I especially loved him in The Wrestler. He was really good in that movie when he played Randy the Rhino. Was that him? No, that was
No.
no. It's him now.
Wait, are you talking?
Oh, you mean the main character?
You mean the main character,
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke?
Mickey Rourke?
Oh, I see.
Was that a joke?
Yeah, it was a joke. Because no, that's him now. Sadly, he just had a surgery, an operation, and he had to go on like Indiegogo or Kickstarter for money for his surgery, which is sad, you know.
They filled it up relatively quickly. 3 weeks, I believe. Axel Rotten got his in a week too. It just shows how good and loyal our fans are.
Actually, we don't mention,
Oh,
Axel
you
Rotten.
don't say the name
We don't
on this show.
we don't mention that guy.
My bad.
He has a collection of poodle a-holes on his head for hair.
Oh, Professor is not involved. Does not know. Axel Rotten does not respect our show.
Oh yeah.
He does not respect you, and he doesn't respect the lovely crew at MPW.
Yeah, hey, I say we have right here live on Military Press Wrestling, Taipei Deathmatch.
3.
Silent J.
You just booked me. You got booked.
I would win because I have my knees.
Oh, just kick out his knees and just start punching the glass.
You know, I throw a bologna sandwich and a in a booking notebook over in the corner. He'd run for both.
What's a good British thing? I can't think of a good British thing to throw, and he'll crumpets. If those crumpets in the corner, I'll chase after it.
I'll tell you what, crumpets are good as shit, man. Crumpets are good. It's like the not crusty, taste like dust version of an English muffin. The English muffins taste like toasted dust. I've never bit into an English muffin and been proud of myself for doing so. It's only when you add like egg, cheese, and ham. It's kind of like, listen, it's kind of like watching a Berserker match in the Warlord. You know, those matches, like, I've never really been proud of watching a Dan Spivey match. But you know what? Oh, it's the same thing as an English muffin. It's like, dude. Or before we go, let's add a little bit of something else in besides wrestling. Before we go, what's the one food that has to have a ton of other stuff on it to be even like good? Where it's bad, where it's just like, what the hell is this? Mine's an English muffin, because bite into a toasted English muffin with nothing on it at all, and it's just gross. You taste what the toaster gave it. It's not good.
It hurts. It hurts your palate.
Yeah.
When you bite into it like stabs up.
Yeah, it's like
I
toasted daggers on one side and dirty ass sawdust on the other. Not good.
I only dislike one food. Really dislike. I really don't like mushrooms. I can't. The texture of mushrooms bother me. So the only way I can eat mushrooms is deep fried. That's it. I found a way I can eat them. I can eat mushrooms deep fried, or if they're small and not noticeable. I know you can eat. I know you love food.
Yeah. You know what? I agree.
What don't you like?
Well, I don't like peas, and I can't eat peas.
Can't eat it?
But we're like a food where it's like by itself sucks, but like dressed up with a bunch of different stuff or a bunch of different recipes or stuff like that, where it's like, oh, okay, this is good.
A condiment put on something would be a good example. Well, Johnny and Ronnie would say you can't eat a good PB&J without pie.
Unadulterated pie.
It's tough to be The Rock. Oh yes. Oh no, shut your mouth. There really is. He said pie. I think we should roll on that one.
We're gonna go on that one. I'm gonna go have. I'm not gonna have any pie.
Ooh. I mean, the only thing we got here is about 5 sausages, so kudos to you. Oh, yes! Some slick Rick.
So, all right. You guys suggested Rock. No, not Rock. I'm sorry. Kane 03 and Booker T
Yep.
03. All the stuff that I've missed. I'm going to suggest real quick. Let me see. What did I? You know what I'm going to suggest? If anybody missed it, you guys watched it. TNA with Team Canada when they had Scott
Demore.
not more A1 Petey Williams, all those guys.
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode, yeah. And who's the other one? There was
We're
Roode,
missing somebody.
Petey Williams, A1, Scott, and I can't think of the other.
James Storm.
No, there was another guy. He did the Canadian Destroyer.
Peter Williams?
No, who else? Who else was in it?
Peter Williams.
Well, anyway,
Hey, Peanut Gallery. Team Canada? No.
no, that's what I'm going to suggest. Go back and watch like TNA. I think it was like maybe 05, 06, 07, somewhere around there, 04. Watch TNA with Team Canada. I thought it was pretty good stuff, entertaining. That's what really got me, for a time, got me hooked on TNA was Team Canada. So, with that being said, next week we got the interview coming up. We go talk to the Destroyer if everything goes as planned, and so yeah, so then we're gonna talk some Night of Champions, and we'll see what else is going on. And then we see if Mr. Dedicated is so dedicated. I'm the most dedicated guy in this room. I'm so dedicated, I'm not even here. That guy, he's probably watching TV.
I mean,
He's probably on the other side of the laptop right now. Like, I'm so dedicated, I don't even talk in the microphone.
he's probably playing Madden.
I'm so dedicated. I play Madden and I jerk off with sandpaper and I finish. That's how dedicated I am.
Woo! Kill him!
I'm so
Kill him,
dedicated.
Jay!
I could win the Super Bowl with the Jacksonville Jaguars without fantasy draft. I'm so dedicated. I could spell the Buffalo Bills without using a B or an L. I'm so dedicated. That's it, right there. But
And Joe, I just say you can and JR fire, so enjoy.
I gotta watch that. But guys, what do you real quick thoughts of the Bills? Do you think the Bills are gonna win?
I was
Look at
gonna
this
say,
man.
listen, I was gonna say Silent J's gonna kill me, but I'm gonna bring the Bills up anyways. It is opening day week, and I'm ready. Andrew Luck, you're not. You better be ready. You better be dressed and ready to play because you're going against the best defense in the AFC, if not the NFL this year. We're coming for you, baby.
I can't say any better than that. That's exactly what I would say. If anyone is, I'll be scalping. So if anyone's getting rid of a ticket Sunday, I'll look for you.
I'm a season ticket holder. I'll be there.
He is that 90s guy.
90s guy. He's gonna be on the corner of Big Tree Road in his starter jacket, selling tickets. Yeah. All right. And listen, police, you can't catch him because police, because Reebok pumps will pump up those sneakers and you get to running. So in his Fubu shorts for you by us.
I'll be rocking my Zubas this Sunday.
I'm gonna be rocking a uniform. I gotta go to Fort Drum. I'm gonna miss it.
Damn, I'm sorry, Jay.
That's
Fuck.
yeah.
See, don't pay your taxes. Fuck this shit. Make the Army go bankrupt so I can watch a damn football game around here.
Ooh, shit. I mean, can you hook the radio up and walk around with it?
No. Dude, I'll be north of Watertown, New York. And And yeah, there's nothing there. They don't even. They don't have anything there. They don't even have Canadians so far north. Like Canadians, are even like, man, that place is lame. But I'm dedicated. I'm so dedicated to the Army. I'm gonna miss football and opening weekend. I'm not really dedicated. It's just I'm kind of like to do it. so I feel like Bubba the Love Sponge right now. Yeah, you could have sex with my wife. Sure.
Oh, man.
On that note, guys, take it away. Your outro promo in the Red Room of Doom.
I am the professor of professional wrestling, and thank you for joining us, having a beer, talking some wrestling, and go Bills.
That 90s guy here saying good night to our fans. Make sure you go home and, of course, watch some wrestling. And gimmick infringement here. Go Bills.
And I'm going to say the same. Go Bills. Andrew Luck, you're screwed, buddy. I'm sorry.
Dad, Ralph is going to be rocking.
So with that, you know what I really can't wait for is the following week. I want to hear how loud that stadium gets when the Patriots are week 2. I want to go so far as to just set up a recording device on my porch and see if I could pick up noise from the Ralph. With that being said, have a fun weekend of watching wrestling and football. It right now is the greatest time in the world to be a guy. So you got football and wrestling. Sting and Tom Brady all in the same week. I'm joking.
Like we're the 90s.
That I am Silent J, and we'll see you guys next week. Check us out on Instagram at Military Press Wrestling, and on Twitter at MP Wrestling Show, MP Show Military Press Wrestling, and on Facebook Military Press Wrestling podcast, and on Podbean.com, Military Press Wrestling. Rate, review the show, subscribe to it, and then go to iTunes, the creme de la creme of what we're trying to gain our viewership, well, our listenership rather, to is iTunes. Go to iTunes, subscribe to Military Press Wrestling, rate the show, review the show, like the show, tell all your friends about the show. All right, do that, and then also here on YouTube at Military Press Wrestling. With that being said, I am Silent J, and like Mr. Dedicated, in about 3 seconds, you ain't gonna see me.
Host Silent J and his tag team partners, The Professor, That 90s Guy, Mr. Dedicated, and sometimes Tammy's Baby Boy. Your home for everything wrestling. It's real. It's damn real.